What's up, guys? I'm David.
What up? I'm Cecil.
This is the Lighthouse.
Yeah.
We want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank you so much for listening to my testimony. You know, it's not about me. It's about Jesus, man. It's about helping somebody else. Today we get to hear Cecil's testimony.
Yes, sir.
And so thank you for doing that, bro.
Man, it's not a problem, bro.
This is what it's all about. I mean, we're going to hear a lot of testimonies on this show, man. I don't think, do we got any announcements before we get started?
Man, I don't know for sure. I mean, just for anybody that is subscribing to our podcast right now, we're still in the process of going live. We've decided that we're just at the moment we're just going to record what we do, and then we're going to post it on the Lighthouse podcast page whenever it comes up. It'll also go out on Facebook and everything else like that. But I mean, that's the only announcement that I really have, other than the fact that I know for a fact that God is good.
And please, if you have a question about his story or my story or just anything in a question in life that you'd like us to discuss, please type it in the comments, man. We will pay attention to every single comment.
Absolute.
Just got a certificate this morning for completing
my dude
Celebrate Recovery workbook. There'll be more to come. When you got yours?
Yeah, I've gotten two so far. I get the next one. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks because apparently the third book is one that you got to put your mind into. So
yeah. Also, I want to say a couple things. I've been seeing, it's slow, but it's starting. I've been seeing people from my town. I've been praying for them to either come up here or just make it out, and I'm seeing it. There's a couple that's up here. And man, I could not be more blessed to see that, man. That's the dream in the long run. I want to be like I'm trusted in a lot of low places, and I just really want to go back there. Not yet, because I feel like it could still be a risk.
But, no ripples in the water. I got you.
But that's long term. I'm gonna pull up to places. They're gonna know me. They know me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up and be like, "Who's ready to?"
Well, hold on. They know you.
They knew me.
They knew you.
There you go. Good correction.
There you go.
But they know I'm not on nothing sketchy, because normally somebody who's not a part of that life pulls up. They're like, "Well, what's he up to?" You know what I mean? But they know I'm not on nothing like that, bro.
Right.
Just want to help people. That, and I guess I've kind of had the urge to address some things that have been said since my testimony came out. But at the end of the day, people are going to hate no matter what, People are always going to have something to say, especially when you're trying to make it out.
Understood. It's inevitable.
Yeah. But our subscribers have gone up quick. I think YouTube Studios said our views have gone up 845%.
Gangster!
In 1 month. So great first month. We really appreciate y'all. But I'm going to turn it over to Cecil, man.
Appreciate you, fam. Okay, everybody. My name is Cecil. I'm an everyday learning child of God. Before I even get this started, there's one statement that I need to make, and I really just need to make it abundantly clear for everybody that's out there listening and watching. I'm 48, fixing to be 49 years old, and every single thing that I'm fixing to tell you is 100% me, 100%, no holding back, no filters. And nobody except for this man right here and Miss Caitlin knows exactly every single thing that's happened to me. Not my friends at home in Nashville, not my workers here, not my church. Like, this is a moment for me that I've waited 10.5 months to be able to have an opportunity to talk about. With that being said, July 25th, 1977, that was the day that I was born. And I wasn't born James Cecil Rogers II. I wasn't. I was born James Curtis Patey. That was my name on the birth certificate. Come to find out, first let me say this. I love my mother. I do. but she was troubled throughout my entire life.
Troubled.
She had a serious alcoholism problem. She had a problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
I can't even describe to you, but you'll find out later. But so she was engaged to more people that I can count on my hands and my toes all the way up until I was 6. But
It's got to do something for your sense of stability, you know?
yeah, come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go.
Never really had like an actual figure that stayed.
No.
Right.
And James Curtis Patey, he was just a name on a birth certificate. Like, he wasn't my father.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was just a name that my mom was with at the time. She had to have somebody for the father, of me. So she put him down. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and jump from that because obviously, I'm not remembering nothing. We're going to go ahead and go to 6.
You have no memories from before 6?
None.
I wonder if there's some things to unpack there.
Well, I mean, maybe the family. I mean, the men hopping around, stuff like that. But nothing really set. Like my first memory,
Right.
like the one that I remember to this day.
Yeah.
So the first memory that I had is when I was 6. Now my mom had, gotten rid of all the other people. She had been seeing this guy for a minute, and I was like, okay, I'm 6. This dude's been here for twice as long as anybody else had.
Right.
And it was me and my half sister Angel, who I love more than anything in the world, like on everything. Growing up, she was like my rock as a kid. You know what I'm saying? She protected me through all of it. Like, I mean, I'm in an alcoholic family before I even have a chance.
Right.
And the guy that lasted longer than anybody, his name was Todd. I thought it was Richard. It's not. It's Todd. Yeah, I found out. I had a conversation with my half sister the other day.
You thought it was Richard?
I thought his name was Richard, but it wasn't. His name was Todd. And here's the first memory that I have. I'm 6 years old. It's Christmas time. We're living in Florida, Fort Lauderdale to be precise. And we have a 1-bedroom apartment. They stay in the room, me and my sister on the couch. And Todd came home with his Christmas tree. Man, this dude really is going to stay for a while.
Yeah.
Bro, it was one of the Christmas trees that you put on a hotel desk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this Christmas tree was like that big.
Like the one we had in the chapter house.
Man, bro, what you said, yes. All right, so I got that. Man, bro, I'm not going to say that I was 6 years old and realized that I didn't have a filter or I didn't have the ability to be able to bite my tongue. But, bro, I looked right at him at 6, and I was like, bro, my best friend 2 houses or 2 apartments up, he's got a big old Christmas tree. Why do we got this piece of crap? I said this to a grown man at 6 years old. I'm going to let you know, not a great idea when somebody's drunk. Not a great idea at all. The story that was told to me about that from my sister, I only remember bits and pieces of it. There's going to be times in this next 2 weeks that you're going to hear me say there's a reason of why. That's all I'm going to say. He picked me up like a baseball bat. And he he repeatedly swung me into the wall, busted everything. The reason why I know is because every single time that it got to my neck and my head broke the drywall. I never hit a stud. This dude was 265, 270, weighed about, like just big swole, like Jamie swole, like just a big dude. And he could have killed me.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah, he totally could have killed me. And but he didn't. And then after he did that, he took me back into the bedroom and he locked the door. And then he just started beating me. My sister finally had a way to get into the room and she covered me up like she, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Protect. Hit me before you hit
How much older was she?
She is 53, 54. So she's about 5, 6 years older than me. So when I was 6, she was 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was my protector all the way through. So, and mom's passed out the entire time, by the way, just to let you know. My mom didn't drink to get drunk. My mom got drunk to get herself put in the hospital. She could get her stomach pumped.
Yeah.
She was drinking gallons of plastic bottle vodka, like Pop Pop and I mean, just that. It was horrible. But anyway, that's getting off the subject. So back to the subject. Now, my first memory is, I think, baseball bat. Then I think locked doors. You know, those two things alone just.
Because he took you in there and locked the door before he whooped you?
He baseball batted me, and Benny grabbed me and then locked me in the door and started beating me. And that's when my sister got into the room and covered me.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that. So.
And that carries over into now.
All day, bro. Every single time that I think about a baseball bat or anything like that, I have that thought in my head. Anytime I get stuck in a situation where I'm in a room with somebody, hey, let me talk to you for a minute.
They come lock the door.
Yeah, and they go inside. It don't even have to be locked. It can be shut the door.
Yeah, it's like you're cornered.
Bro, no.
Yeah, it's not
I ain't having that. Bro, I'll straight freak out. And, you know, I mean, I'm hyper all the time anyway, but this is like freak out hyper. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So after that's all said and done, here's where my life changed. My sister called my grandparents. Her name is Murder Marie Rogers. My grandfather's name is James Cecil Rogers. They immediately found out what had happened. They had no way to come and get us in car, so they put me on an airplane. Me and my sister. I don't remember that at all.
The flight?
Yeah, they put me on an airplane, bro. Back in the day, bro, you didn't have to have a gardener or anything like that. They just straight up put a note on something saying, hey, these two children are going to get picked up by their grandparents in Georgia, and you're on a plane, you're gone.
It's crazy. Times are different, man.
Yeah, you're on a plane and you're gone, bro. It was me, 12-year-old sister, me all busted up, beaten, broken.
That's crazy.
All that, bro.
Yeah, thank God that it was like that.
Yeah. Yeah. If it would have been like that today, bro, we probably would have never left.
Yeah.
But, well, no, my grandparents would have drove. They would have drove when my grandfather was that's a long story. So we're on an airplane. We get off. They're there. It's the first time I've seen them in a long time. Like, mom secluded us from that. You know what I'm saying? So I see him, and now we're in Gwinnett County, Georgia, a town called Lawrenceville. And that's me from 6 until 11. When I was 6 years old,
sorry,
you're good.
I was just wondering, like, how did your grandfather like run the household?
Okay, it's interesting enough that you brought that up. There's no two people in the world that I love more than my grandparents. Yeah. None. The things they did for me, I could never give them enough credit for that. Honestly, like 100%, I could never give them enough credit. My grandfather was not the rock of my house. My grandmother was. I don't know if anybody understands the concept. Remember I told you when you said that you lived with your grandparents for a while, I said second generation family?
Yeah.
Bro, when you're raised like that, man, you're getting raised by people that grew up in the hardest time that you could ever imagine. And they're trying to keep you safe. This is going to go into a future part probably next week. But my mom and she had a sister, an identical twin sister named Deborah Jean, and man, so they raised two twin sisters, two sisters, and now I'm there. I'm 6. Now they have a son. They never had that.
How's the twin? Did she go down the same path as your mom?
Oh, absolutely not. No. My aunt was like 100% faith. She owned her own beauty salon for like 20 something years. I mean, like, she was just all around good people. Like, the aura of good people give you anything in the world that you would ever want. Good people.
Yeah.
And but I didn't get a lot of opportunity to see her because she was living in Nashville, in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I was in Georgia.
Yeah.
But it all that prelude brings up to when I was 6 years old and we moved. When I first started having a memory, like remembering things, I don't know how I was smart enough, or maybe it was just God and I didn't know it. But I walked up to my grandfather and I said, "If I'm going to live with you," I was like, "I don't want this name." I said, I want to have your name. Your last name is Rogers. Mine on my birth. I didn't say all that. I was like, my name's not Rogers. I was like, I want my name to be Rogers. So we went through the whole court system, birth certificate, get all that altered. And my grandparents adopted me when I was 6.
You just saw something you could look up to.
Both of them. BOFUM, both of them. So I know I do that. So now James Curtis Patey is no more. Now I'm 6 years old and I am officially James Cecil Rogers II. It's the greatest gift that I've ever received.
Amen. It says a lot.
But not a lot between 6 and 11. Just kids, trampolines, learning skating rink stuff, all night skates, blah 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 blah.
A little bit of childhood.
A little bit of childhood going on. You know what I'm saying? Sneaking out the house, hollering at your girl. Things like that. MC Hammer just came out. Vanilla Ice was busting, bro. Bro, Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all that, they haven't even been thought of yet, bro. I'm still going with like CNC Music Factory and Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. Oh, yeah, that's good times, bro. Good times. I love Memory Lane. Memory Lane's awesome.
That was about 400 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Stone Age, bro. Wipe the cobwebs, bro. Wipe the cobwebs. So now my grandfather was a body shop manager. In Georgia, he was a body shop manager of Peterbilt. And he wasn't the rock, but he did take care of the family. My grandmother didn't have to do anything. She was with me. Like watching Pressure Luck, and we watched Santa Barbara, the soap operas. We do all that when I got out of school early and stuff. It was awesome. Curled up on the couch, I'll be like all up on her and stuff like that, like a dog would be to.
So he's the provider.
He's the provider, and she is the love and the person that makes the house the way the house is supposed to be.
She kept loving the home.
Yes.
Yeah. I was wondering what the rock meant to you.
Yes. And she also dealt with another alcoholic. My grandfather on whiskey and bourbon. It was a tough time, bro. I thought when I moved that I was going to get away from it.
It's one of the most common addictions. Probably the most common addiction.
What, alcoholism? Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it is. But I will give you a fun fact. Since I started college, I did a paper the other day, and this is 100%. I know this because I read it. From the day I was born 1977, the amount of people who drink heavily, like heavy drinkers, borderline alcoholics, functioning alcoholics, was 63%. That's over half the population, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
As of 2022, 51. It went down almost 11%. You would think it would be the other way around.
I think honesty may have gone down.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's one look. That's one view of it.
That's one view of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm right, but I see a lot of people with issues that they won't admit to even themselves. You know.
I'll give you another. 1977, you didn't have fentanyl. 1977, you did. Well, you might. I don't know. I mean, you did, but it wasn't mainstream.
Fentanyl wasn't out
killing. Fentanyl killing over 68 to 80,000 people every year. 1,250 people die on fentanyl every single day. A day.
Sad, man. Watched a lot of people go.
What you said. Never touched it. Always been around it. Man, I brought back more people with Narcan than I can count on one hand, bro. I mean, that's their life in the palm of my hand. And bro, you don't wish that. You don't wish that, and you damn sure enough don't want that on your conscience ever.
And you know, this is crazy. I'm glad you brought this up because, you know, a lot of times when people will die in whatever way, right, there's like a fight. Their body fights to stay. And I've just watched fentanyl just completely have no respect for the fact that there's a soul in a person. There is no fight. It just steals them. They turn so fast. When there's an OD, dude, it's like they just become a whole nother entity. It's like the death is different. They turn blue and gray immediately. Like you can just see every bit of life leaving. I mean, of course, it's
like directly in front of your face while you're trying to help them because you know that they're fixing to go. It's
wild,
bro.
It's the devil.
Yeah,
it really is.
I'm glad that she brought that up. So I'm going to skip to a part where I'm going to introduce this guy. I will not say his name, but now I'm still, like I said, my grandfather worked at Peterbilt, no, whichever one. He worked at two. So now him drunk, my grandmother being the rock, my grandfather got sick. It wasn't, well, it might have been because of alcohol. I don't know. So I'm 11 now, almost 12. I went to J. Richards Middle School, by the way. I don't know if it's still there or not. Like I said, it's Stone Age. Anyway, so he gets sick and he can't work anymore. He's got clogged arteries in his veins and stuff like that. So now we don't know what to do. So my aunt, the one that was good, said, I want you to come to Nashville, pack up everything, come to Nashville. I was super excited because I would go and visit her during the summertime when I was, all that time when I was growing up as a kid, and I went up there for like the summer, 3 weeks out of the summer, I'd go up there. So I had friends there. So it was just an immediate, okay, leave people here that, whatever. And now I'm going to go to Tennessee and this is going to make things better. Things are going to change.
Yeah.
Grandfather can't work. Disability back then?
Nothing.
It wouldn't cover your car insurance for the month.
Man.
That's how disability was back then. Yeah. So now Now we're at now we're at 14. When he absolutely could not do it anymore, he had to go and do the one thing that a man never wants to do, ever. My grandfather was a strong man. He uh, he had to ask my grandmother to stop watching me and taking care of me as much as she did, and she needed to be the financial aid of the house. The person I was with every single day after school, the person that taught me the second generational things that I needed to know. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Open up the doors for the females. Grab their coats. Help them put the. I mean, every single thing of who I am today, she taught me. And now she's got to go to work. My uncle owned a video store. My aunt had the beauty shop, right? She's good. My grandmother don't know. She's not a beautician. So my uncle owned a video store. He had just opened it. There's no Blockbuster. There's no Hollywood Video. There's none of that, bro. Every video store that you went to was like little. You owned it. It was your business, and it was a booming business. So my uncle let her be the manager, and he gave her, I don't know how much money it was. It was enough to keep us good. We were living kind of middle class now.
Yeah.
You know, we had a 3-bedroom house in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. They lived in Hermitage, which is right up the street. But at 14, 13 going on 14, I learned, bro, no, she ain't doing it alone. She's working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. While my grandfather still sitting there getting drunk. He would leave on benders. He would go and say he's going somewhere, a hardware store or, something like that. And he'd be gone for like 8 hours. And when he come home, he'd stumble. And the house that we had a driveway like that. He'd stumble out of the car, and 9 times out of 10, he would fall over, and he would just come inside the house and just, as soon as I saw scratches on his face, I immediately went to my room.
Yeah.
Like immediately. Like there was no, I've heard the screams my whole life up to that point. I've heard the screams. I've heard the yelling. I've heard things getting thrown. I've heard all the curse words, every single one that you could possibly imagine. I've heard it all. And I told my grandmother that I would go to work at the video store. And my aunt owned the beauty salon, right? Okay, so I said, I can do this. Now, granted, these jobs wasn't hard, but it was time consuming. I'm 14. I got my hammer pants, bro. I got my bum. I got all that skids and Vision streetwear and the little skateboards, the little hand skateboards, finger skateboards.
Tech decks.
Yeah. So yeah, all that. And my aunt this is when tanning beds first came out. My aunt had 2 tanning beds. And she said, I need somebody to run the tanning beds Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 to 8. I said, okay, I'll do that. Basically, they come in, they sign their name, they go in the tanning bed, they come out. I wipe the tanning bed down, and it repeats for 2 hours. Now, that's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Now, Friday and Saturday night, I work with my grandmother in the video store. And that's all night, from 5 o'clock until 10, Friday and Saturday night. Ask me if I had a life.
Definitely not.
All my friends, every weekend kicking it, coming back to school, talking about all the stories. That absolutely just made me furious during that time. I hated it. I hated my grandfather more than anything in the world. Hated him.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting at home drinking. I have no life. All my friends are doing this. I didn't even have my legitimate first girlfriend until I was like 16.
Do you think that being forced to work like that is why you're so reliable at work?
Man, bro, when you have to pay half rent in your house when you're 14 years old, you grow up real quick, bro.
Yeah.
You grow up real quick. And that's what happened. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes. My work ethic comes from a decision I made when I was 13 years old. And I never stopped.
Yeah, your last job you worked there how long?
When I worked at TGI Fridays,
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
20 years, never let go. Lots of stories in that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that next week. So now I'm doing this and doing that. Let's just go ahead and skip to the girl, who I will not speak her name. But just know that you if you know, you know. She was the first girl I ever said the L word to.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd never done that. And y'all know what word it is. I don't like saying it. I'll say it to you all day. I love you, bro. But when you're serious and you're looking eye to eye with somebody that you want to be with, the L word is a very difficult thing to say.
If you mean it, yeah.
Yeah, if you mean it, it takes time. You know, it really takes time. You have to be able to trust someone with everything to be able to have the ability to say the L word. So I'm a sophomore in high school when it happened. And this is when, so I'm 15. So this is when everything changed, bro. This is where I met Kelly Wimp. This is where I met my best friend of 30 years. And, you know, we did what you were talking about, what high schoolers do, you know? They're out there. They're smoking pot. They're going out to the woods and building up a camp and just going and drinking every weekend, doing that 70s show, climbing the water tower. It's not a fad, it's a trend, and it did happen in the 70s and the 80s. They probably still do it today.
Probably still do it. Yeah.
Probably still do it today.
I hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're in their phones too much, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Why would I want to climb that water tower? I'll just Google the videos on YouTube.
See, I'm a 90s baby. And that means, like, I was outside with my phone.
Yeah.
That's a different generation. We get before and after.
Yeah, you know try having a pager, bro.
Yeah, I definitely don't know nothing about that.
Try having the only phone that you could really get as a teenager is a Cricket. And when I say Cricket, I mean Cricket this big, this wide, and black. And the only game on it was Snake. This little snake would go like this, and you'd have to block him into where man, it's a long story. All right, so now I got the L word out of my system, and everything's good. But everybody in my I forgot to tell you, I failed ninth grade on purpose to be able to go to be able to have the people that I was hanging out with. They were in ninth grade, moving up to 10th. So I failed to be with them. So now now I'm in my sophomore year and school's over with, and my grandmother comes at me. Now, take in mind, I'm still working and school and dealing with Papa. And now it's my grandmother comes up to me. She's like, I know what you did. I know why you did it. That's why I didn't punish you the way I was going to, but here's what you're gonna do. I took vocational school.
Over the summer?
Yeah, no. I took vocational school. Like those are my electives. Those are my credits. You got 3 credits for vocational school, and I hustled it, bro. I hustled it. You got 3 credits for doing it, right? Okay, so you got a third of a credit on the bus ride to Lebanon. Then you went and did class for 1 hour, and then you got another third of the credit on the way back. So I was getting 1.5 credits for being on a bus. Like that was, you only had to have a certain number of credits to be able to graduate, right? Like 20 something back in the day.
I have no idea.
Back in the day, it was like 20 something. Everybody knows. If you know, you know.
I did not graduate.
Well, I mean, you are. Oh, we're gonna get to that part very soon. So, like, yeah, but you already know my grandmother. She ain't having it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when I did something wrong, all the way. 15 years old, bro. This is back when you can get paddled in school. Now, remind you, like, this was a thing. You know, belts were happening. Belts solved problems, but not enough to be physically abused. My grandmother never physically abused me. But she whipped me enough to know.
Yeah.
One and done, bro. One and done. You do it once, you don't want it again. Trust me. So
it hits different when you
respect my grandfather whipped me one time in his entire life. He cried the entire time doing it. And all he said to me, crying, he barely hit me. It was like a psh, psh, psh. He said, this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
You know? So my grandmother says, you did your vocational thing, which I told you to do. You need to learn a trade. I did cabinet making. So now I know how to frame houses and stuff. I know how to use a saw. But yeah, good luck with that. But I had enough credits at that point to where if I voluntarily went to summer school, voluntarily, take junior English and junior math, I can go straight to senior. I could go straight from sophomore to senior. Now I want you to picture this. You're 14 years old, you're paying half the rent in your house. You're working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. No time for nothing. You just said the L word to the first girl you ever met. She's wearing your class ring when you get to high school. And now I got to go to summer school. And I'm working the entire time. It's like a year-long thing, bro. From my sophomore year ending until my senior year, graduating high school, I never had a break. Never. There was no summer vacation at all.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that did happen. Bet your sweet bottom dollar I graduated high school because my grandmother was the rock.
Yeah.
That was like a steel pole theory. Steel pole theory means it does not bend, it does not move in any way, shape, or form to be able to have some kind of loophole or this, or I'll make it a little bit better for you, so I'll just bend to a smidgen. Nope, it don't bend. So in 1995, I graduated high school. 16 years old. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Bro, that's when drugs got bad.
You mean in general or for you?
General and for me. But I went on a different path. You know, I wasn't drinking. I told myself the entire time from when I was 14 years old. No, from when I was 13 years old when I started drinking. I told myself, I will not be my mother. I will not be my grandfather. I didn't even know about, the generational curse and anything. I didn't know none of that, bro. They don't teach you none of that in my age at that time. Like, they just started doing sex ed. Literally. It was that. Anyway, so, yeah. Pause for a brief laugh. Break. All right, so yeah. So now I graduate high school, bro. I'm smoking weed. I'm drinking beer knowing I'm not going to be like them. And then May 8th, 1994 happened. Vanderbilt Stadium. Camped out for 13 and a half hours in 12-degree weather, sat 8th row center. What concert? Pink Floyd.
I still wasn't born.
Bro, I'm talking about not the laser light show that you go and see at T-Pack in Nashville or you get to watch videos on YouTube. No, bro, I got to see the Division Bell tour, Pink Floyd. It was amazing. Greatest concert of my life. I was 16. But that's also the first time I ever tripped on acid. And I loved it. Somebody told me that taking a hit of acid was like smoking a joint by yourself. That's not how it works.
That's not true at all.
That's not true at all.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up. I know we're running long. All right, so I graduated high school. Everything's going. I'm starting to do the drugs. Everything's this, that, and the other. My mom comes back in the picture. My grandparents always got the three houses that we lived in. She always had a third bedroom, and I never knew why. When I was 17 years old, my mom come home, broken, like the humility on her face. Just, I had no sympathy. I didn't. She let that man do what he did to me because she was passed out. My grandparents gave me my name. They taught me everything I know. And now she's back. And she was a bottle hider.
She was a what?
A bottle hider.
Oh yeah.
Bottles up underneath the mattress.
Yeah.
Bottles in the inside of the tire taped up.
The mattress, man. Like we can't hear it sloshing around.
Like pints and quarts. Not quarts. Pints and fists taped up underneath the toilet lid.
Yeah.
You know, all that.
My dad would hide. I mean, like whole gallons of vodka. And you could hear the mattress was like uneven, and you could hear it sloshing around. It's like, I ain't got nothing.
Right.
Like, bro.
Right. So,
bro.
Yeah, make a long story short out of that, man, she's back. I'm miserable because I'm still there doing what I'm doing. I'm finally getting a little bit of a life, and now that just got taken away from me because now I have to be dependent and make sure that my mom's good. So, that held but so many resentments. And right about that time is where my whole life changed. The clots in his veins got bad. Like super bad. And he ended up having to go to surgery at Baptist Hospital. Same hospital I was born in. And he had to go and have a quadruple heart bypass surgery. You can Google it if you want to. It's one of the hardest heart surgery you can possibly have. Everybody in my family was there at the hospital. I'm 19. I done moved out of my grandparents' house. I got an apartment, selling acid. All my time was focused on that, you know. But I still had a home. I was still paying rent. So he goes in and has his surgery. And everybody's saying, it's going to be fine. Cecil's going to be fine. Oh, no, I'll never pray that. It's going to be fine, JC. It's going to be fine, JC. Because I was J in elementary school. I was JC when I moved to Tennessee all the way up until this moment. It's time for him to go in the OR. And, you get to take that walk. You know what I'm saying? You get to walk him to the doors where you can't go past.
Yeah.
Obviously, my grandmother went. They've been married for 40 years. Like, she went. And she said what she needed to say to him. He said back. And then he whispered something in her ear, and that's all I knew. And then she comes up to me and says, he wants to talk to you. He said, I just want you to know I love you, but you got to do me one thing, JC. I need you to take care of her. I don't know how he knew, but he knew it wasn't coming out.
Yeah. I mean, it's lot of times people know that. You know, um my daughter's grandfather, right? He he had been sick for a while, and you know when you get sick like that, a little fall or anything can be the end.
Yeah.
He got put in the hospital, and he knew he was dying, but he waited and waited for her to be born so that he could see her. As soon as he saw her, he left.
It was over.
Yeah.
Okay, so my grandfather doesn't make it out of surgery. That's my first death
Yeah.
that I had to experience, and it had to be him. We do the funeral thing. Everybody, you know how when you do the funeral thing, everybody puts stuff in the casket. You know what I'm saying? Memorabilia, things that they remind them of, things like that. I put a poem in it that I wrote just for him. I don't know where that poem's at anymore. I wrote 2 copies of it. My aunt had one. We'll get to that later. So I put that in there, and when the service was over, I immediately went to my guy that did tattoos, and he put Cecil down my spinal cord, and that's where the name stuck. I never went by JC anymore ever after that day. So that happened. Now, after that happened, my grandmother, still the rock, she literally, have you ever heard of grieving yourself to death?
Yeah.
100% healthy, never drank, never did anything bad. She smoked cigarettes, but it wasn't that bad. Uh, I watched her go from being the rock to a month later, feeding her ice chips and writing on a eraser board. 1 month. Again, in the hospital. Same one that I just lost my grandfather in. So basically, in a nutshell, you just want to go ahead and call it what it is. I lived in that hospital for a month and a half. I lived in that hospital. Uh, Nobody could tell what was wrong with her. Nobody gave any kind of like reasons unknown. So I'm in the room with her, and I'm feeding her some ice chips, and she asked for the eraser board because she couldn't talk. And she wrote something down that I'll never forget, and it's tattooed in my head, and I think I'm going to get it put on me at some point. She said, "Head up." Like, keep your head up,
Yeah.
you know?
And that's
And
not just supportive, that's an order.
that's, whoa, man, God, man. Thank you so much for saying that, bro. Uh, and then, I like you watch the dramatic shows and they put the dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, and
Yeah.
it was just me and her in that room when that happened.
Man.
Okay, so now I just buried both my parents in a month. I got my mom, who I have no respect for, still living in the house that I now have to take pay. Now I have to like be a man, but I can't not be the rock and tell her she can't stay with me. My grandmother taught me better than that, so I had to go by what I know, and that's where my life changed again. That's when I stopped being the person that says it's not going to be me, it's not going to be me, it's not going to be me, to hello, my name is Cecil, and I'm an alcoholic. Tune in next week for some more on that. David, I'm done.
Thank you, bro. Not easy to do, y'all. It's really not. And I think that's the perfect stopping point. I thank you for being open and honest, man. Guys, if you're still listening, just hit that subscribe button.
Please.
Drop a comment. Let us know what you think.
Please.
God bless you.
Cecil out.
Yeah, I'm David.
I'm Cecil.
This is the Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.